What's up, y'all? I'm back. Third video in a row today, so if you see me wearing the same shirt in every video, that's because I'm on a roll today. I'm going to make a YouTube thumbnail generator, because if I'm going to be posting videos, basically anytime I'm going to be doing something multiple times and I don't want to do the legwork, I'm going to come in here and ask Claude Code or OpenClaw to help me create a tool to do that. So, and I have no prerequisites. I don't have any information. I'm literally, you're watching me start at the very beginning of my process here. So I'm going to ask Claude Code using WhisperFlow. I'm going to say, I need to create a skill that generates YouTube thumbnails for my YouTube videos. I want to be able to give you the topic and have you generate an image that is suitable for that topic. I think a lot of times in YouTube thumbnails that it helps if the creator's face is on the thumbnail. So if you need to, if you agree with that, I can provide you a picture of me, but you'll have to use Nano Banana to get different expressions or poses or whatever it would be. So you already have a Nano Banana skill. Let's make sure we're leveraging that and not reinventing the wheel here. And I need you to do research on what makes a compelling YouTube thumbnail, come up with a list of guidelines. We're going to include that in skill. So the skill should be comprised of what makes a good thumbnail, as well as instructions to use the Nano Banana skill to get the best output. We're going to run that and see what we get. This is kind of the theme of a lot of what I do, is asking Claude Code, hey, this is what I need. Can you figure it out? And because if nothing else, if it can't and there's something that it needs from me, it's going to come back and say, I can get you close, but I need you to do this part manually. You know, you have to set up an account, you've got to create an API key, you've got to do whatever. But this is a great way to get started. It's asking your friend with infinite knowledge, hey, how should I handle this process? And then implementing it. So it says Gemini image gen skill. I'm hoping that's not using the image gen model. I specifically want to use Nano Banana Pro. Okay, Gemini image, okay. I kind of took a backwards approach to this one now that I'm sitting here waiting for Claude Code to finish up. Typically what I'll do is I will go through the first time, get a process working, and then have it save it as a skill. This time, for whatever reason, I dove straight in and said I want to create a skill and had it start doing the research. The only difference will be that there's an extra step now to test it. So each time I test it, I'm going to say use the thumbnail generation skill, generate a thumbnail. And then if that doesn't work or I don't like the output, I'll just have to tweak it and say, now go back and tweak the skill with this feedback, as opposed to just iterating back and forth with Claude Code, getting the prompt that makes me happy, and then converting that to a skill. Kind of backwards, but honestly, I don't get hung up too much on workflow perfection. I like to just dive in and get to work when things occur to me. There's value to me in striking while the iron's hot and not trying to perfect everything. You know, these are all moving targets, right? I can iterate on these as we go, and to me it's more important to get the initialization phase started and then worry about how to optimize it later. It might need a reference photo. I think the most recent one I have of me is my LinkedIn profile photo, so I'm going to grab that. Although I am wearing glasses in that, and I don't typically wear glasses. Imagine that, man. It's also pretty small. It's not a great image. I'm going to save it for now. And we'll see if that's useful or not. If it's not useful, I'll just take a selfie and give it to Claude Code. I'm just trying to use what I've already got. So you can see in here where it's creating the skill, you can kind of get a little bit of insight. And it's telling me these are the types of phrases it's going to pick up on. If I ask it to create a YouTube thumbnail, design a video thumbnail, generate a thumbnail, it's going to recognize those types of phrases and invoke the skill. How to use it. Provide me a reference photo of yourself just once per session. Tell me the video topic. I'll pick the right style preset expression and generate the thumbnail. Want to try it out? Just share a photo of yourself and a video topic and I'll generate a thumbnail. Alright, so just out of curiosity, I'm going to give it that photo that we just created. And we're going to go from there and see what it can do. Use this reference photo of me and generate a YouTube thumbnail for a video about adding the Excalidraw MCP server to Claude Code. It looks like it dropped the W from Excalidraw. That's weird. Alright. We're going to go into WhisperFlow real quick and make sure that Excalidraw is a word in my dictionary. Is it with an E? Sorry. X, yeah. So we're going to add Excalidraw. Now when I say that next time, it should hopefully recognize it and put it in there correctly. Let's test it. Excalidraw. There we go. Alright. Gemini key is invalid or expired. See, it says this to me all the time, and it's because it's trying to use the wrong skill. It doesn't need an API key. Or it should already have it. You already have my Gemini API key. We have a Nano Banana Pro skill. We may be using the wrong thing, the wrong skill here. Check and see if you have one for Nano Banana Pro. That's the one we want to be using. I think I may have accidentally installed an image gen skill from a marketplace. Yeah, see? I got the Compound Engineering Gemini image gen plugin skill, and I need to get rid of that. That conflicts with the one that I'm using. And I've run into this before. If I ever gloss over something, like having a Nano Banana Pro skill, and you want to see how that works, just drop a comment, and let me know, and I'm happy to make a video on it. This video is about creating a skill, so the workflow for that would be very similar, but I'm happy to cover whatever you all would like to see. If I take something for granted and, like I said, gloss over it, let me know. So it's still telling me my API key is incorrect, and I don't think that's true. It may be, and if I have to go create a new one, I'll do that off camera. Yeah, it should be working. You know what it might be? Is it said it had to source it in the terminal. Usually when you do that, you have to restart your terminal session. So we're going to do... I'm going to just run this command in another tab, see what happens. And then I'm going to close that one. You know what? We're going to close out of Warp completely. Just to be sure. I'm going to go back to Claude and then resume that conversation so that way it has the context. I restarted the terminal app to see if it would take the source update, but I think the API key is valid. Can we try this again? It's definitely rejecting it as invalid. It was revoked. Alright, so it's showing that it's got the API key, like it's finding it, and saying that it's invalid. So I'm going to do this on another monitor, and hopefully that's sufficient. If not, I'll have to edit this part out, but we're going to go to the link they're asking me to. Let's see if I can get this resolved. Okay, I updated the ZSHRC file. I don't know if we have to restart the terminal or not, but the updated API key has been put in that file. Can you try this again? Let's see what happens. Nope, see, it's still saying that it's failing, so there's something wrong. I don't know what it's... Oh great, just put my API key up there for everybody to read. That's alright, I'll just rotate it after this video. Okay, it's because my export was on the same line. So, looks like it was able to find the issue. Let's see now if it works. If it works, I'm going to have to go rotate this key because this key will now be in a YouTube video, but hopefully lesson learned. Alright, looks like it's running this time. Cool, looks like it made it. Let's see what we got though. Let's see what the output is. Right, this is our first run. I haven't given it any sort of tweaking for the prompt yet. I basically told it go do research and figure out what's the best what's the best thumbnail. So let's see what we got. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I mean, it did a great job keeping the fidelity of my beard. That's awesome. I wish I didn't look like such a tool with my mouth gaping, but I honestly think that's pretty popular for YouTube thumbnails. This isn't bad. Xcaladraw and Claude Code. It's not bad. I'm going to use it. If you guys are watching that video, or if you've seen that video, then you've seen this thumbnail by this point. So I'm going to leave the skill as is, and if all of the thumbnails, if they kind of like seem too cheesy, I'll probably edit it, but you know, I'm not an expert on YouTube thumbnails. That was the point of me asking Claude to do the research. It did a great job of keeping the glasses and keeping my face, like the details, pretty well done. I'm gonna run this and see how it looks. So success, aside from having to rotate my API key because it was shown in the chat. Other than that, I'm happy with the outcome. So thanks. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thank you.